Hello and welcome to Real Hi-Fi Help. So this is a video about hi-fi friends trashing each other. So I've many times stood in between my many friends and acquaintances that was, they were just talking really bad about each other's system, saying like, oh, this system is so harsh, this system is so dark, whatever. Um, and I've always been the guy that that have created a lot of these relationships, and kind of tried to bring people together in the end. And yeah, I've also done some trash talking which wasn't very good, but in the end, I always did it in the spirit of bringing people together and not just being right. And and I've also myself been criticized um, in my own home and heard things that were untrue at other places. But oddly enough, I was still man enough to still use it to my advantage to improve my sound, my understanding of hi-fi, and just boost my relationship with people. So hi-fi is tough. People can easily get edgy when you're dealing with stuff that's very expensive, where you lose a lot of money. You have to sometimes go in some opposite directions, and then sometimes people clash. And getting to the truth is just, it's a lot of hard work. It's not just something that just happens. You have to have a particular mindset to get into the really, really, really deep sound. So, and I think that if you can just park your ego away and make it more about the experience and the overall satisfaction, yeah, instead of having to try and create too much certainty and perhaps rush things, I think then the friendship can blossom more. And I'm a bit of a matchmaker in the hi-fi world. I like to introduce friends to friends, and then sometimes that can become a bit weird culturally, like introducing people to each other from different countries. Sometimes that can become a bit weird, but it's I still think it's a good thing to do than not to have any friends, not to have any fun, not to experiment. And but I have to say that I've always looked over these people like they were my own children. And when they were bickering between each other, um, I always kind of held my what's it called? My hand over them, um, kind of protecting the other part, so they wouldn't hurt each other too much. To really get closer to understanding and going deep into hi-fi and just evolving that friendship. And I think that's important. I think many times, especially in hi-fi, we can get some very powerful, heavy opinions, and sometimes it can be a bit destructive. It can get away, so you don't get any progress. So this is just me basically saying, be patient, deal with the problems. There are going to be stupid things that aren't optimal. There are going to be people with some personality traits that are annoying. And, in the end, it's just shits and giggles. And we're just there to kind of enjoy each other's friendship. And also, hi-fi aside, I've actually experienced this a lot at work, that people that aren't like really nasty people that try to gain your trust. They usually try to gain your trust by bitching a lot about others and telling them like, oh, this happened to me, and then you can't say like, oh yeah, okay, wow, that isn't really good, and then you end up spilling all kinds of information about other stuff you shouldn't, And I think that that's like a good lesson in life, kind of knowing how to identify your friends, because there are some people that you should definitely not have as friends. And I realized that at work, me showing my equipment was only a thing that you really should do to those people that are really close to you. And sharing these hi-fi experiences, there are a lot of normal people out there that feel deeply offended that you own a piece of valuable gear, or you have a really good sound without having paid a lot for it, or whatever. It can easily get people saying bad stuff about each other, and it could cloud a French, what do you call it? It could cloud a person's judgment, and they start inventing all kinds of weird shit. So this is basically me just saying, try to deal with it in a diplomatic way and make things come together, because there are always going to be things that aren't optimal, and cultures that clash. But yeah, it's a bit like getting Republicans and Democrats at the same party to shake hands and become friends and get an intimate relationship. It's just basically not going to happen unless it's a very special type of people that you're dealing with. But yeah, that's my message, just to be aware that this thing actually exists, and that you should try and kind of disarm the bickering, the hateful hurt messages that get sent back and forward. I would have friends constantly talking bad about one particular friend, and then I would say that this isn't the way it is, What you've listened to is not a harsh sound, okay? That the sound that guy has is what that guy wants. That's the priority of what he created. He put those plugs on. He used those cables to get that priority. And then I said to the guy, I know you don't like that sound, but that doesn't mean that this brand here does that type of sound, And I said to him, if I took that same equipment in that same room and put my cables, my plugs on, my other things on that I wanted, then I could have created the sound that he would have preferred. And I think it's just important mentioning these things, because there are some things that kind of stick to our mind that sometimes are wrong, and it's all about context, being patient, and basically just doing what's hardest, not just in hi-fi but in life. In the end, you will reach the truth, and it will be rewarding, and you will enjoy it more. So yeah, ending on that high note. That's all I have to say in this video, and remember to like and subscribe if that's possible. Have a nice day. Bye.